Texas Garden Guy here, and welcome back to another awesome episode of The Garden Party. This is The Garden Party, and we want a garden party with you. We talk about the plants we grow and some things you might not know. The Garden Party. Let's start the show. Hey, everybody, welcome back to The Garden Party.
Hey.
We got a good one for y'all this week. We got a couple of returning guests, but we also have my good buddy, my configliere, Mr. Phil's Figs. How you doing, brother?
What up, everybody? Your favorite plant parent and regular parent, juggling the two. But we talked about this last week. This is like my favorite time of the week where I get to like talk about plants for more than like a lot of my friends. They love it. They try to emulate my garden. They try to do other stuff. But sometimes I get too excited and I lose them after 5 minutes. And here I can do it for a whole hour and it's awesome. And we can just like peel back all the layers.
I love it, man. Well, I was thinking about you looking at my figs today because my figs I'm getting little figlets, and I was like, ooh,
you getting some Brava crop? Nice.
Oh yeah, man. Like they're getting big already because we've been getting some rain, and it's they're popping. Like my LSU gold, like they're the size of a golf ball already. Like
wow.
They're popping.
Oh.
So I'm excited. And we're not gonna get into the freeze here, but if you do get into the freeze, some of those Brava crops are pretty strong. So if you get like a light frost, you won't necessarily lose them too. So
depends on the variety. Like some of the fancier varieties are always more divas anyway, so you're probably they test the waters. But there's definitely some ones like your Dalmaties or Desert King or my Ponte Tracy that push through, which is pretty awesome.
Well, no speaking Italian tonight because I'm incredibly upset with Italy after watching the baseball classic last night. I don't want to talk about Italy. If we don't make it to the next round, we should cancel the tournament. I'm very upset. The games are going on 20 minutes from my house, and I was sitting here watching that. Like it's insane. Oh my god. Well, I said we have returning guests coming back, so we'll do ladies first. Tracy from Just to Get Farms. What's going on, Tracy? How you doing? Introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm Tracy with Just to Get Farms, and hey man, I'm ready for spring. I'm ready for the garden this year.
Yes.
I think I'm more excited about the garden this year than I have been in a long time.
Ooh.
I don't really know why. I really don't know why. I'm just like so pumped about it this year.
Fired up. It was a cold winter.
I'm fired up. I'm ready.
All that pent up cold winterness ready to burst out.
That's it. Well, the past 2 years I had a little bit health challenges and I wasn't able to do like I normally do in the garden.
Yeah.
This year, I'm stoked. I'm ready. I'm ahead of the game. My beds are all cleaned out, composted, mulched, ready to be planted.
Dang.
Both greenhouses are bursting with hundreds and hundreds of baby plants screaming to go in the ground, and I'm ready.
This is Tracy's medicinal herb collection as well. I forgot I had that sitting back here.
Yeah. That's our collaboration with Hoss.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
Yes. Speak of the devil, there's Mr. Greg right there. How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing well. I told somebody just this morning, I said, this warm weather's got me wanting to act up. I've been wanting to plant things I know I didn't need to plant, but you know how it is. You get a few days, you say, I feel like I can get the tomatoes out there. And then I looked at the weather and I said, next Tuesday, 32 degrees.
Yeah.
Well, there are some people like me who jump the gun, and I have planted some tomatoes in the ground or in my raised beds. We're going to get to 44 here in Houston. It's looking like I'm on the Gulf Coast, so we get a little bit warmer air coming off the ocean. Some things you can do if you already put a tomato in the ground. Like I've taken buckets, like 5-gallon buckets, and putting them over my tomatoes. Put a brick on top, so kind of water them, put the bucket over, and then put a brick on top, kind of hold some of that hot air. Is there anything people can do, Greg, that you recommend stuff like that for like people who already put stuff in the ground?
Absolutely. Anything you can cover them and keep that cold wind off of them. And that frost, if you have frost, conditions got to be right to have frost. We got to have the right amount of humidity and we got to have the right amount of cold weather. And frost is where we get a lot of our burn at. And then the amount of time that it is that cold makes a huge difference. So if we get down to 32 for maybe just 30 minutes and it bounces back pretty quick, damage is going to be very minimum. But if it stays 32 for a couple hours, we can get some pretty hard damage. Anything to cover those plants will help. Worst case scenario, you don't have anything. You take a thick sheet and put out there, and that'll do more good than you think it will. Just anything to try to insulate a little bit. Because when we're at these 32, 34 degrees, man, it's right there on the threshold of getting damaged or not. So anything we can do is going to move the needle.
Absolutely right.
It may not do like a lot of damage, but that tomatoes get stunted. Where like you get like a slowed down growth from tomatoes that go out that early. But I definitely I usually do the bucket challenge. Usually around this time, they're small enough to, and I don't have 100 tomatoes out there. I got like 12. So I got that many. And so I'll just go take them and cover them up real quick. Phil, have you put any tomatoes in the ground yet or anything like that?
I have not. They're all in my soil blocks. And so I'm a little behind because I usually wait till like mid-April to put everything in because our last freeze date's April 1st anyway. My biggest concern is I overwinter my citrus trees. So I wrap them in incandescent lights and I cover them in frost cloth. This year we had the coldest temps we've seen in like 20 years here. I got down to like low teens. Like we're 8B. So when you drop out below 15, you start entering 8A and 7B, right? And parts of Wilmington got down like 11. So I unwrapped my citrus and I left the lights next to it. I have the frost cloths ready to go just in case because they all have buds and flower buds happening. And so I don't want to lose that fruit. And like,
I love Gene. I love Gene so much.
He's crazy.
I'm so easily distracted by Gene. He's got a way of doing that.
I was like, who's this guy? Oh,
I saw it too. I was like, wait a minute. My microphone was hiding in the comments. I was like, what the heck?
That's hilarious.
Tracy, this was your first year with like your legit greenhouse, like your like solid frame greenhouse this year.
Yeah. It's only an 8x12. But it's nice. I love it. I've had a lot of fun starting my seeds in there. I've got a beautiful chandelier in there. It is shabby chic to out.
It's your she shed.
So enjoyable. My favorite thing is when it starts getting dark and I can turn on my chandelier and sow my seeds.
That's your time. That's your like time. Delta state. Yeah.
My time. I don't want to go in. I just don't want to go in yet. And that's awesome. But I've got that one. And then I've got a one that Jean made me that's like out of cattle panels. I've got that one. And that's where all my citrus and everything is. And I have applied for a grant this year. And I'm hoping for a hoop house.
Yeah.
There you go. That's awesome. You guys have a grant program.
Yeah.
North Carolina has something similar
mama.
too.
That's the NRCS, is that what that is, Tracy?
That's a federal one.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Key word to anybody that's listening out there that's applying for these grants, the key word to use in the grants is organic.
Yeah. I used it.
Yep.
100%. And that's the National Resource Conservation Center.
And I used them.
Right. Well, and you mentioned cattle panels. Is there a more versatile item in the garden? For me, I think the most versatile thing in my entire garden is a cattle panel.
Yeah.
I use them for so many things. Like, and they're so cheap. They had gone up during the pandemic quite a bit. Like I was paying once like $60 for a cattle panel, but usually you can find like $25 at like Tractor Supply. But
they used to be cheaper than that before everybody started using them.
Oh yeah, I use them for everything because your whole hoop house is built out of them. They're awesome.
And I have tunnels built out of them with roses and grapes and gourds and everything I grow on them.
They'll last forever.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I just made a bunch of benches for my for my desert roses and stuff out of them. I just kind of intertwined them and I throw them on fence pickets and they're good to go. And they just,
I saw that. That was pretty cool. How you made the little trellis thing.
I went to a giant like growing facility up in Dallas, and they were doing all their like annual plugs, and they had cinder blocks and then just cattle panels across the board covered in weed fabric, so they could just slide all the trays across. And I was like, that's so smart because like if you have a nursery or you grow like Greg does, I mean, those greenhouse tables are so expensive. Like greenhouse supplies are so expensive. Like the actual infrastructure, it's crazy how much they cost.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, and they don't always last forever either. We're going to get into some. I've got a little bit of an outline here. We're going to kind of go over. Tracy, for spring, obviously you're an herb lady. You like to do a lot of herbs, but what is like your number one? You know, like for 2026, your number one variety, what number one plant you're doing in the spring this spring?
Number one
or top three? How about a top three? I know you can't choose.
Okay, I'm up in my game on my herbs. I'm growing a lot more herbs this year. We have an online shop, and I make herbal products, so I'm growing a lot more herbs for those products. So if I have to pick, it's going to be the ones that I use the most in my products: calendula, chamomile, holy basil, tulsi.
Yeah,
I use those a lot. Roselle. I know
I was
you
gonna say Gene weighed in there.
What did
he
you
say?
Roselle.
He said Roselle.
Yeah, Roselle. That's a big one. Man, only three. I can't do it. I can't do only three.
Herbs are always a hard. Some people find, like, I've always found them kind of hard to grow, but a lot of people don't realize, and I think we talked about this last time you were on, is that some of them need to be stratified. Some of them need to, seeded out in the fall, overwintered, and they start popping up in the spring, and they just become perennials.
Most of them need light to germinate too, and that's usually the biggest issue, don't you think, Greg? Is people cover the seed and instead of.
Well, we're so used to growing vegetables and covering the seeds and doing that. Herbs is just so finicky. A lot of it's just completely different. You got to throw the book out, everything you thought you knew when you start growing an herb, because everything's so different. Tobacco's the same way. You cover tobacco, it will not come up, will not sprout. You have to grow it on top of the ground, just like Tracy does most of her herbs.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That and I think a lot of people try to grow stuff the wrong time of year. Like cilantro here in Houston, like, good luck trying to grow it during the summer. You got to grow it like in the late fall.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just terrible. I mean, you can buy from the store, come and it's dead in a day. But if you get it going, it'll perennialize. It'll drop seeds and come back. Same thing with dill. Like, I found, like, growing dill from transplants is super hard, but when I just direct seed dill, it just goes nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, but like you're saying, a lot of times people plant them too deep.
And like you said, a lot of the herbs too, like dill, cilantro, calendula, chamomile, they're all cooler season herbs. They're not going to grow for us in the summertime. They're just not. My chamomile burns slap up in the summertime. I can grow it spring and I can grow it fall. So
did you pick your selection of seeds on the stuff you use, or just what was the most fun to say? Because, like, motherwort, like, what is motherwort? What is that?
It makes a good tea.
Motherwort is also known as lion's mane, or lion's tail. See how it kind of looks like a lion's
that's
tail.
interesting.
It's pretty cool. But it's just what it says it is. It is an herb for mothers. It's good for nursing mothers. It's good for mothers after having a baby. It's good for women issues. Like, it's for all of those women issues that we have. And motherwort is in the mint family. And it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool herb. It's also used for hyperthyroid. So I made tinctures with it and used it. It helps to slow your heart rate down when you have heart palpitations and racing heart, which happens when you have hyperthyroid. Motherwort will help with those heart palpitations. So
I might just need to go throw some seeds out with this stuff, because this looks like it would be fantastic for the pollinators too. Would love it.
Yes, and it can be invasive. So it's in the mint family.
Yeah.
So like I planted just a couple of little tiny plants, and I have lots of motherwort.
How do I pronounce this one?
Whorehound.
What do you do with whorehound?
Have you ever heard of whorehound cough drops?
No.
No.
What? You
No,
haven't heard of, have you, Greg?
I have.
Yeah. Whorehound cough drops. It's a popular cough drop. They're good for sore throats. Whorehound it's got like a licorice flavor.
Ooh,
And it's
like
real
an
good for
anise.
sore throats. And yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now you don't want to just grow it and take it and make a tea or something like that. It's super bitter. Like it does not taste good. You want to add some honey or some maple syrup or something like that to it, And I use it mostly just to make the cough drops.
Interesting.
That's
Mhm.
fascinating. Love that.
I like the star of anise flavor, so I'm gonna have to give that one a try too. I don't
Mhm.
do enough herbs. And I feel like a lot of people that do grow herbs don't necessarily know what to do with them afterwards.
Yeah.
And that's where you can definitely go follow Tracy at Just to Get Farms, because she does a lot with her herbs. Because a lot of people don't know what to do with them afterwards, which is the
Yeah.
wild part.
Well, I
One
would
more
say,
thing too, Tracy has got a new growing guide out that shows you how to plant and grow all that.
yeah,
And
I did.
Nice.
And I put the link for Just to Get Farms down in the description. So click that link down below and go check that out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Of course.
You know where I got most of my education on
Where?
seed starting? The man right there.
I thought you were gonna say, oh my God, Gene is insane in the comment section.
Lord. Hey, Gene, this is a family friendly channel. Please behave.
Oh my
I don't know
God.
what you're saying, but please.
Oh, you can
behave.
see. You
Oh.
can't see.
I
You
can
can't see.
it.
Okay.
I
Okay.
see it. I see him.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Gene, what are your top three that you always grow? Like you know you grow everything, but like what do you, if you can only grow three things in the spring, what are you growing?
You're asking Gene?
You said
Greg.
Gene. Greg.
Oh, I meant Greg.
Greg.
Sorry, Greg.
Oh, you said Gene. I was looking at the comments waiting on Gene to answer.
Yeah, I thought
Oh,
Gene-
Gene got you.
What
Gene
top
got
three
you.
things do you
Hey,
grow?
he pops in every once in a while. You'll see him.
Well, for me, I'm a vegetable guy, so I got to grow a tomato. We love tomatoes. I love okra. We got to plant our okra. And one thing that I'm not, I love watermelons, but my wife loves cantaloupe, and I enjoy growing cantaloupe for her. We don't grow a lot of them, but I do grow some. One particular variety we got called Tasty Bites that she really likes. So I enjoy growing, the melons, the cantaloupes, and watermelons for me. And those are more advanced crops that most beginner gardeners shouldn't start with because they can be tedious. But growing watermelons to me, man, it's to go out there in the summer day and cut your watermelon, get underneath the tree right by yourself.
Oh man,
For that.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
it's
life
the
right there.
best. It's so profound. To grow a big melon is such a profound gardening experience
It
Mhm.
is.
because you're like, this
Yeah.
thing just grew in 3 months. It's it. Boom, 90 days, and you got this
Well-
big giant fruit.
It never gets old either.
No.
That never gets old. Just like
I've always-
pulling a carrot never gets old.
Mhm.
I've always had the problem where the last time I grew watermelons, I always pull them too early. You always pull them too early. So for people who don't know anything about growing melons, Greg, when do you know they're perfectly ripe?
Well, it's tricky because the old adage is you wait till the curlicue dries up. You know what the curlicue is?
Yes, sir.
But here's the trick to that. The very first crop, you have to wait a week extra for that because they'll still be green. So your first crop, your first ones to come off, you want to give them an extra week after that curlicue dries up. And once they start coming off, you can go back to when the curlicue dries up. 90% of the time, that watermelon's ready to be picked and consumed.
Oh, love it.
Yeah. I would like to grow watermelons. I'm a little limited on space. So I have to go to Froberg's and grab one from him. And he's got some good melons over there.
How far are you from him?
About 15 minutes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. He's busy, so it's hard to you got to go there and catch him when he's got a free minute. But because he's the busiest guy besides you that I probably know. You know,
We text back and forth some. I've been on his podcast before. Just a great guy.
oh yeah, he's the best. No, he usually makes time when I got time to go there and go ride around with him. We'll go eat some strawberries. You know, do whatever. You know, it's always a fun time. You know,
Hop in the truck, zoom around.
Oh yeah, well, and he fixed his bike. His bike wasn't working, Phil, and he got it fixed.
Oh, you got it fixed? Oh,
But-
thing's wild.
I actually I had gotten some asparagus from y'all, Greg, and I didn't have room for it, so I took it over to him, and it's going crazy over there.
I seen that. He just did a TikTok a day or two ago on that. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, asparagus is a really easy thing to grow if you have the space. Just let it become that perennial bed because it'll kind of spread and take over. You know, just every year it gets a little thicker and thicker.
Mhm.
You're going to grow asparagus. You can't be one of those kind of gardeners that don't want any weeds because you're going to have asparagus. You're going to have a little grass. You're going to have a little weeds. It's okay. The asparagus bed gets a little weedy sometimes. It's supposed to be that way. But it'll grow fine in it and it'll buzz through all that and still come up and do wonderful. But you just can't be real picky with asparagus. Just let it do its thing.
Mhm.
Are you supposed to just let it grow and do it and like just grow 10 foot tall, or are you supposed to periodically? Because I've always heard to go in and periodically trim it back. Like, you know, are you just supposed to let it go nuts?
I do after it gets established. Here's the key with asparagus. Think about what we're doing. We're going there and cutting those crowns off when they first shoot up. So we're stressing that plant dramatically. To be able to sustain that much stress, it's got to have a really good root system. So that's the reason we want to wait up to 3 years before we start harvesting a lot, because we want to grow that intense root system down there. And once we get it growed in and we get a really good root system, we can continue to stress it and cut it and it'll be fine. But up until that point, we got to baby it along and get those roots grown out there and just get a really good, strong plant to be able to sustain all that stress that we're doing to it. We're just cutting and cutting. Every time
That's a good reminder.
to do something, we're cutting it back off. So at that point, we can abuse it some. We can do a lot of different things. I've cut it down all the way back to the ground and just let it go again, and it's fine. Once you get that plant established well.
That's awesome. I hope to one day have a bigger bed where I can, because how big is your asparagus bed? Is it pretty big?
Mine's about 4 foot. I got one row. It's about 4 foot wide, and it's probably about 20, 25 foot long.
Yeah. Because that's my thing. Like with growing things like that is if I got a spot for it, I need enough to, like when I harvest, I got enough for like a meal. You know, if you only have a couple of asparagus, you know, you're gonna get a handful of asparagus every once in a while.
I'm growing it in raised beds. I got 2 4x8 raised beds, and I grow my asparagus in it. And I really don't have a lot of weeds in there either, which I like that.
Good, I know that.
Jean's just out there picking them while you're not looking.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Greg, you mentioned tomatoes. What is your go-to variety?
Well, our best-selling tomato by all means is the Halcinator, but I love growing some unique tomatoes. So this year, we trialed out Cherokee Carbon last year, and it did wonderful for us. We actually got the plugs for sale this year. And this is just for you guys. But if y'all want to try a new variety, and we don't have this one on the website, we got a new variety that we're trialing this year that the breeder sent us called Dark Angel.
Ooh.
It's supposed to be off the chain. There's a small breeding company on the East Coast called Earthworks, and they're doing some amazing work with some tomatoes and peppers and things like that. And they got this new variety called Dark Angel that we're really excited about. We got some plants. I got a handful of plants. If you guys want to try them, email me, text me, and I'll send you a few plants. But we think it's going to be absolutely wonderful. It's got tomato spotted wilt virus resistant. It is an indeterminate, so we're going to have to prune it somewhat as it comes up. But it's that dark color, kind of like the Cherokee Carbon is. It's just full of flavor.
That sounds
that sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely interested. Definitely.
Yeah, me too. That sounds great.
Dark Angel, is that right?
Dark Angel.
Dark Angel.
The breeder's called Earthworks.
I'll have to look into
Sounds
it. Yeah,
a little mysterious too.
I was going to ask. You're talking about the cantaloupe varieties. I'm like, how do you get to pick the names of these awesome varieties?
So actually, we don't pick the names. The breeder picks the name. They seed laws dictates that. So most of the breeders go through this elaborate process trying to pick a good name. Think about candy onion. Could they have picked a better name for an onion than candy onion? Some of these varieties, they just knock it out of the home park with some of these names. And then the next thing you know, they come along with a 4, 5, 6, 8, 9 cantaloupe. I said, how do you expect me to sell a number of cantaloupe, So sometimes they do a really good job on naming, and sometimes they don't. If we get an exclusive, like some of the ones that we have got, we can rename them, but we have to get a release from the breeder to do that.
Yeah. Because I know some tomatoes, like you were saying, like there'd be like a F12579, and like you have to put like that on the packet, but you can call it whatever you want. Like you basically buy a license fee, kind of a fee, whatever, and you can call it like that, right? It's an exclusive thing.
Yeah, there's some pretty strict laws about that. You need documentation from the breeder to give you, permission to do that, which most breeders don't want to do, by the way.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
I believe it. I mean, that happens in the fig world. I try to tell people about Italian 258, and it's hard to say.
What I say about Italy? What I say about Italy, Phil?
No, I'm pulling a card. I'm superseding that. It's fig related, but it's like I'm like if you know figs, you know Italian 258. But if I'm talking to my friends who are like, they love to hear like, oh, like pingo de mel, like Portuguese for a drop of honey, which is a great fig. But I'm like, but also 258. And they're like, 258? I was like, 258.
Well, talk about that Tasty Bites cantaloupe. That's a wonderful name, isn't it?
That's a great name. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Is it a smaller cantaloupe or is it?
It is. It's a what I call a personal size, but it's got the most strong cantaloupe smell when they get ripe.
Oh yeah,
I've never tried that one.
Yep.
I'm making my house list right now.
Oh my God.
I have mine
because I have a running weekly house list.
Can we just like circle back since we're talking about seed starting in spring, but like seed tape is the best.
Seed tape.
Like my parsnips look baller, and it's just like scoot. And then, although you know what, because I have this like terrible relationship with squirrels in my yard. I have a water oak, and they take all this. They're digging holes, trying to find where they put all the water oak acorns. They ripped up my carrot tape, and so like all my carrot tape's like spent. No. But the parsnips look good. But I was like, those darn squirrels, and I know that there's two, and they're from the same like litter, and they are just like. They're the ones that gotta go. There's a game land shelter. I'll put them out there.
I got a rabbit.
You're still battling squirrels.
Yeah. What's that? What's that, Greg?
I got a rabbit problem that's real similar to that.
Yeah. Oh, ruthless, huh?
I have an armadillo problem.
Seriously?
Seriously, they root up my.
It's not awesome, Phil. Armadillos are not awesome, dude.
They're not awesome. First of all, they're disgusting.
Oh, gross. Never mind.
And they can destroy a garden in like 10 minutes.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Gene tries to get him. He tries to get him. I got to
keyword tries.
Story.
Dude, they do so much damage, man. It's hard
Gene, to don't be mad at me, but I got to tell your funny armadillo story.
Go ahead.
We've been trying to kill this armadillo. This was last year or the year before. We were trying to kill this armadillo because everything I planted, he must have been in the woods watching me because that night he was coming to dig it all up. Yep. So Gene would be on the lookout with a shotgun out the door looking for this armadillo every night. Well, he was in the shower and I saw the thing out there. So I ran in there and said, Gene, the armadillo's out there. The next thing I know, he is butt naked, running out there with the shotgun out into the yard with the shotgun to kill the
man.
Chasing it because it ran down off the creek bank and he's
oh,
Don't be
Tracy's got
mad
this
at me. Everybody
rent-free
needs a
image in her head of just like, it's my man right there.
Now I do too.
And unless you've met Gene in real life, you don't know he's a beast. He's kind of a tall, big dude, you know. So like that armadillo is probably scared as hell.
Scared to death. Probably had a heart attack.
Oh my god!
Did
No,
it
I
work?
mean,
Did that work? Did it scare?
No.
No, he didn't get it either. He didn't kill it.
Did it come back after that?
Well,
He eventually got it, but he didn't get
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Well,
That was so funny. I
Oh my
laughed
gosh.
till I cried.
well, and the problem is they're too good at what they do. You know, like my mom's had issues with them, and they put up the little tiny electric fence around their mulch beds, you know, on the flower beds, and they'll either hop over them or go under them, you know. But like
Yeah.
it's so hard, man. Like
Yeah.
they can destroy a landscaping job or a garden so quick. Do they get up into your raised beds or just the ones in the ground?
No, just the ground, just the beds in the ground.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because that is the one thing. Like if you got them like a 17-inch, 11-inch raised bed, they're not getting up a foot.
No, I've never had them do that yet.
Their main food source is earthworms. So the more you try to have a good garden and good soil and everything, you're growing more earthworms for the armadillos to come in there. So
Oh, they're probably smelling all that good new soil
Yeah.
when you start
Mhm.
planting stuff, and that's like, oh, that's my cue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There she is out there planting something for me. And
Exactly.
here he comes chasing me.
Oh my goodness.
I thought
My
I
God.
thought everybody might need a little laugh tonight.
I
Totally.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm thinking of like a cartoon image of Gene running like that's so funny. I would say, what, Tracy, out of all the gardening you do like, what do you do more of? Do you do more seed starts, or do you do more direct sowing? Like, what is your preferred method?
My preferred method is starting seeds.
Yeah.
Just because direct sowing, there are so many things living out here in the woods that want to come visit my garden, that I just do better when they're established, versus just, now I do direct sow a lot too. I direct sow, okra and squash and melons and flowers. I direct sow a lot of wildflowers. There's a lot of things I do direct sow, but if I can start it indoors, I usually start it indoors.
Yeah, I had started a bunch of stuff indoor in my garage under the grow lights, and then I moved some tomatoes and peppers that were starting to germinate into my greenhouse, and huge mistake. I went out there one day and they're all popping up, and the next day something to eat in the tops of all my baby peppers and all my baby tomatoes. So I'm guessing it was probably roly-polies or something else. It was just nibbling the top tender little leaves, and so I'm keeping all my seed starts in the garage from now on.
You know what was doing mine like that?
What's that?
Lizard. A lizard.
No way.
That would not surprise me at all. I have tons of
saw
lizards.
him.
Yeah.
I welcome lizards, and I was very mad at him.
Yeah. I've got my greenhouse turns into a lizard breeding ground over winter. I actually had the first signs of mice in my greenhouse because something was nibbling some of my cactus and nibbling the tops of them. So I guess it was a warm spot for them to get into. But that actually makes sense that the lizards would do that, because I've seen them when I used to have a berry, some berries on my fence line. I'd walk up and something would, the birds would get my little blackberries and they would eat them. They'd peck them, but something was going through and just mashing them, just mashing the berries. And they'd just be like someone tried, it was the freaking lizards. They were just going through, just mushing them.
Dang.
Yeah.
Now I've never seen him mush the berries before, but he sure chomped some of my little baby start. I watched it.
What about you, Greg? Do you do most of your stuff in the greenhouse and seed starting trays?
I told somebody a few days ago, if I was a young man and I had picked my career path knowing what I know now, I'd be a greenhouse grower. I just love growing in a greenhouse. And that's my happy place. And
Yeah.
I tell you, the thing about a greenhouse is you can make something happen so quick. And if you mess up, you can start over, and in 2 weeks you're back where you need to be. It's so quick, especially for people like me that don't have a lot of patience. And that's the most enjoyable moment of my day. And I go to the greenhouse every day.
Yeah.
Is when I go to the greenhouse and I'm watering the greenhouse and I'm thinking, man, I need to plant this, or I need to pot this up, or whatever. Yeah, that's my place at the greenhouse. I love starting stuff, and I'm like everybody else. I start way more than I should. I give a
Yeah.
lot of things away, but that's just part of being a gardener, isn't it?
It
Yeah.
is.
I like to grow extra to give away and share.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a lot of fun for me.
It's one of my favorite things in my other job. I go in and I just have trays of my like soil blocks, which are great. And I go in, I just bring some extra pots so they don't mess up their cars too much. And I just drop it off in the office. I'm like, here you go.
Oh,
And
nice.
it's just such a nice feeling to like see other people grab onto that same happiness too, that may not do it as much or what have you. Especially when they find out from seed, they're like, I'm only a few years into growing from seeds now on my journey. Thanks, Haas, because I did your seed of the month and I get it all dialed, and I'm like, every step of the way, I'm like, okay. And there's stuff that I wouldn't have picked. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'm going to grow this. We're going to find out. And then I try to accommodate it. Whether I do it again the next year or not, I've at least learned how to do it. And some of those things, whether it's vernalization of garlic or the seed tape, salad greens, or just sprinkling in the radishes, all that stuff, you just kind of figure it out. But to share that with others is such a human connection that we talked about this a few episodes ago. I love that in gardening, there's no type of gardener. Everyone's a gardener at any level. Like everyone just can relate to it. And so that's a really nice thing. So if you bring plants in, everyone always is like, I'll take one. Like perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Bring you share,
And
spread a little joy.
Have that little bit of spark that ignites them to a whole different hobby, that brings them that one little plant that you give them can enlighten them on something they can do, and they find out they enjoy gardening. Next thing you know, you got somebody you can talk gardening to.
100%. They're like, that's where potatoes come from. I'm like, that's how it goes. It's that easy. It's like in Castaway when he makes fire. It's like, I've made fire. It's like, yeah, you can just do it. It just grows, and then it makes seeds when it's ready, and you can do it again if you want to, or you just get something different. It's that, yeah. So you're so right.
Greg, do you have any seed starting tips? I always try to soak my seeds. Like I try to soak my seeds a little bit, and I feel like it gives me a better germination rate. Do you do anything like that?
We don't soak. I don't soak any seeds that I'm aware of. I know it does help with some things, but I normally just don't do it because I don't have that much plan ahead of time. The right amount of germination, if you got the right amount of humidity and you got the right amount of temperature and you got the right amount of moisture, you don't necessarily need that. Now, if you don't have one of those things, soaking the seeds can definitely help. Yeah. So you want to get on. Can we talk about seed starting hacks for just a minute? Because I would love to. Seed snail thing has got me blown away. Why would anybody want to do that? I see no purpose in the seed snail thing. But it's
what
all
is it now?
The seed snail.
I'll pull it up. It's kind of dumb. It's a TikTok hack, and it's I'm not the biggest fan of it. I've seen it, and it just doesn't make. I mean, I get why someone would do it. I mean, but I don't think on a large scale it really works though.
I don't even make sense to me on a small scale. I mean, you grow these plants and you unfold it, and you got the teeth out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Like save on space, but
I'm assuming they'd probably get really nasty and break apart pretty quick if I had to guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think that's efficient?
I don't.
That person's doing it with bubble wrap. That's insane.
Bubble wrap.
I think it also depends on what you're seed starting. Like you're not going to do that with like any zucchini or cucumbers or anything like that. Like they'll like that would stress them out. Maybe that guy's doing it all right.
This is
But
they're doing with zucchini. I feel like that would not go.
that would not like that.
Mm-mm.
But
Like-
it's all the rage right now on YouTube. Anyway, I thought I would throw that out there. It blows my mind. You know, the tried and true method of using a good seed starting pot. And if once you buy a good seed start tray, I don't have to tell you guys, you take care of them, it'll last you the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And use a good seed starting mix. I love SunGrow. I love Pro Mix. Those good seed starting mix there. And then this is a little misconception here. Most people may not know. You know, we all know what mycorrhiza is. We all know what all these beneficial bacteria are. They've been test proven on these short-lived plants in these starter shows. Those are irrelevant. They don't stay in there long enough for those beneficial bacteria to be able to do them good. Now, if we're growing into a hanging basket or a root pouch or something bigger, hey, that's a different story. But when we're doing seed starting and we're growing plugs, all we need is a good sterile mix, and we just need to give it the love it needs, give it the temperature, give it the moisture it needs, and it's going to grow a good plant because that seed's got enough energy in it to bust up and get going. Then we throw a little fertilizer on it. Next thing you know, 4 to 5 weeks, we got a plug ready to plant. So a lot of people overcompensate and try to make it more complicated than it is, but we really don't need all that kind of stuff for plug production. Now, when we start getting into hanging baskets or growing into containers, whole different ball game.
I would say that the mycorrhiza on the seed starting mix can actually be detrimental because of fungal growth. I've used some stuff in some seed starting mixes before, you know, kind of like you said, overcomplicating it, and I've gotten like nasty fungus because it's if you put too much of that stuff in there, it's just going to increase that fungal growth, and it's just, you know, it's what it is. It's fungi, you know, so you get that white nasty stuff all over it.
Our biggest problems in seed starting is Rhizoctonia, Pythium, and Phytophthora. All those are water spores, so they're moved throughout water. You know, I'm a big fan of worm castings. I think worm castings are wonderful. I view them as an inoculant, but the reality is in a seed starting tray, they just don't do much. You know, they don't do anything at that point. Now, when we start moving into other things like transplanting into the ground and all that, I love worm castings because they inoculate a lot of beneficial bacteria that we need in our soil for that long-term plant growth there. But for plug production, we just need a good sterile mix and just love them, talk to them, fertilize them, water them, and next thing you know, you got a plug.
Yeah.
No, I definitely think that time spent with your seedlings is time well spent. Like, I mean, it's you start to see, you know, like if you just plant your seeds in the trays, go out there and you have an automatic waterer or whatever kind of system you have, and you're out there hand watering and checking your stuff, you're not going to notice, you know, a fungus gnat infestation. You're not going to notice some kind of infestation of some kind of fungal growth all over your stuff. So you got to be out there checking your plants, checking your seed starts, especially out in like a greenhouse like mine where I've got all my other plants. That's when you start missing the tops of your peppers and tomatoes because you're not paying attention. You know, I put them out there, went to Austin for a week, and I came back and I was like, well, that's what I get, you know. But like Greg was saying, hey, you can always plant more seeds. You can always plant more seeds.
Yeah.
It's not too late. It's definitely not too late.
That's the same thing with the garden. You know, you got to visit your garden every day. You got to be out there every day. And one of my main design elements that I always say you got to have in your garden is a good sit spot.
Yeah.
Because you need to just go in and sit and look at your garden and observe. And, you know, that's where you really connect and you see issues you wouldn't normally see. That you can catch early and correct before it's too late.
I took out my automatic watering system because, you know, when you start depending on an automatic waterer, that's when you start, you know, having, oh, this emitter didn't go off for a week and then you lost this whole bed, you know, like when you start depending on things like that, you're not spending the time, you know, then maybe you need to reduce how much you're growing. You know, maybe you need to, you know, grow more drought tolerant plants that don't require as much care, you know? So like, I definitely have moved back
to thinking about your location. So you like put it in your periphery so you see it when you're outside.
Yes.
Like that's a big thing. And yeah, Tracy hit the nail on the head. Like I do my fig episodes where I do like figs and coffee, and I talk about what I'm doing, but no one knows that like the first 20 minutes I'm walking around with my coffee, just like
Mm-hmm.
touching the herbs or just observing the buds, like all that stuff, that like that piece of peace you have. But you
Yeah.
that's that moment of peace, it allows you to be present and looking at the minutia details that are slowly changing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because your garden's always changing, right? So
Oh.
you're always observing what those minutia changes are.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's really brilliant. I mean, especially with all my fig propagations, all those little things, there's little like details you pay attention to that let you know how it's doing and what the next stage is, or what you have to change and like recalibrate any sort of environment, right? So
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to explain that to somebody that's never experienced it. But when you walk out there, Phil, and you look at that fig sprout and you say, and you sense an off color there in your
Yeah,
mind, you know, I got to feed that. You know what I mean? You can
right.
look at it, you got the type of relationship with that plant, you know there's something that's not quite right. And it
Mhm.
needs some feed, or it needs something, it needs maybe a little warm weather there. But those little small things like that, I call it talking to the plant, but it's actually the plant talking back to you.
Yeah.
When
That's
you
true.
get that kind of relationship with the plant, you can actually, you know, you can communicate with it, and you know it needs something. And that's the thing
Mhm.
about that, is you can recognize it and you can get it on there, make everybody happy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a great point and a reminder too. Yeah,
It
you
really
can
is.
totally sing to them. There you go. Give them some some carbon dioxide, right?
Yes.
That's so true.
Well, y'all were saying, issues that you have. So like some common issues that, people will probably have with seed starting is overwatering. You want your seed starting mix to completely drain. You don't want it sitting there holding water for a long period of time. They'll start to turn green and get all nasty. Like you want a good, well draining mix, like Greg was saying with the sun grow. Find you a nice mix with some perlite that's going to drain and not hold too much water. That's a most common issue I think most people have.
Mhm.
That and
Is-
I had to put a little fan on my seed starts, get that airflow over top of them, getting them hardened off a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm a little
Yeah.
stronger.
Yeah.
I would say probably one of the worst things that people use that I see is those pucks. I know those pucks. I think they're trash. They're such trash.
It's yeah.
People. Well, so when I first got them, they were explaining to me, like when I first started gardening, like years ago. Oh, the little mesh, it breaks down in the soil. You don't have to take that off. I have been through and emptied out pots and beds that I haven't used in years. Like I haven't used these things in years, and I still find
There.
those little mesh balls with
Oh,
Mm.
because
roots
they
inside
haven't
of
broken
them.
down. Oh,
They,
Oh
interesting.
man.
I guess the whole it breaks down eventually. It breaks down. I don't really know what it's made out of.
Eventually.
Yeah, and I know they make them out of cocoa. They make them with cocoa core now too, and all this stuff. But like, I'm not a big fan of the pucks. What do y'all think, Greg?
No.
Greg, have you used the pucks before, Greg?
Well, I don't use them either. And another thing too is people using solo cups. Now, there's nothing wrong with using what you got. I'm as cheap as the next guy. I'll reuse a pot in a heartbeat, okay? But solo cups, we don't get the right holes in them. They don't have the drainage we need. If you do poke a hole in them, you set them on a flat surface, they can't drain. So drainage is a huge issue of having that right
Mhm.
medium in there that will drain, but we got to give it an area for it to come out and get dried down so we can wet it again from the top, keep that water moving throughout the plant there. So that's one of the biggest problems I see is when somebody sends me pictures in and they got to complain about seed start. And I always look at it like this right here. All right, let's figure out what your problem is. And let's go with this. Most of the time they're using the wrong seed start mix, or they're using the wrong container. If we get those two things right, then we can move into the amount of moisture and the amount of light and all that kind of stuff. Unless it's a stretchy or leggy plant, we know off the get-go what that is. But as far as the other goes, it's normally a problem with medium and the drainage and using the right growing container.
Well,
Mm.
and like Phil was saying with the Haas Gardening Club, y'all send out the monthly boxes and y'all do instructional videos on. I mean, you got so many videos on y'all site and on your YouTube you
We
know,
got
plants.
1,200 videos. I looked the other day. It was 1,200 videos.
Wow.
1,200.
Whoa.
You've been doing
That's
this
a
for a
lot.
while. How long you been doing YouTube, Greg?
Oh, since 2008. I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story. Do y'all know Epic Gardening? Y'all know that guy, don't you? Largest gardening channel. Look here. I've met him in person. We've talked. We emailed back and forth. He's always been extremely nice to me. Okay, but his channel partnered up with Home Depot just a few days ago, and they released a video where they went to Maine and did this redo garden in Maine, and it's a nicely produced video. And I was watching it, seeing what's going on, and I'm watching it, and all of a sudden, 2 minutes and 51 seconds, I stop it. And I hollered to Carrie. Y'all know Carrie across the hall. I said, Carrie, come here. Is that one of our boxes there? So in the video was one of our boxes at 2 minutes and 51 seconds sitting over to the side there. I thought that was hilarious.
That's great. Look at that. You're like, there it is. Boom.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Was it one of your seed boxes or what was it?
It was just a bigger box. It had our tape on. Our tape is kind of gaudy. You can pick it out a mile away. It was one of our bigger boxes.
Everybody knows Hoss now.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I'm not trying to puff you up or anything so I can get a free tomato or anything. But everybody, I mean, Hoss, you've made a brand. Like you've made a brand. Everybody knows Hoss.
Some traction as a brand. So I thought that was hilarious. But the Epic Gardening guy, a lot of people love to hate on him. I'll tell you this much. He's been extremely nice to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's gotten some pushback because of the Home Depot collabs.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't like places like that.
Right.
But I mean, business wise, good for him, man. I guess as much as he's done.
And he took some venture capitalist money to bring in and we bought botanical interest and all that kind of stuff.
Right, he bought botanical interest. Yeah.
A lot of people, shun on that, but hey, he's doing what he thinks is right. But yeah, I have nothing bad to say about him. He's been not everybody can be nice, but he's been extremely nice to me on every conversation we've had.
Cool.
Here we go. Boom, right there.
Yeah, that's it to the right there.
That's awesome.
You barely can see
there
right
it is.
We had to zoom in on it. Yeah.
Ooh, look at that greenhouse.
I wonder what's
in greenhouse. That looks like a fresh greenhouse.
Wow.
I wonder what's in that box though. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, there's Jacques.
Yeah. Jacques
That's
in
awesome.
the garden.
That's
greenhouse in Zone 10B.
Right. Well, I had some people over like the Fredericksburg area. They're people from Austin or around whatever, moving around the Austin area, and they're wanting to bring they're like, what kind of greenhouse should I get? And I was like, well, you're in Texas. You need like a hoop house, and unless you got cactus, I mean, like I have cactus, I have to have a greenhouse to keep myself from rotting. I was like, you really need like a hoop house for like 2 months out of the year. That's about it. But they were talking about bringing these really giant fancy ones from like British Columbia. And I was like, well, you're going to have to put an air conditioner in there or something because this is going to be so hot. You're not going to be able to go into it in July.
Yeah.
Good luck. I mean, it's, yeah. Well, let's do a little bit of rapid fire questions to the last 5 minutes. Greg, what is your absolute must-have tool for spring gardening?
Well,
You gotta pick one.
Drip irrigation. And I'm gonna label that as a tool because I think it is. Drip irrigation saved us more time and saved us more water and saved us more work than probably any other one tool has.
That's good to know.
Tracy, what about you, Tracy? What's your favorite garden tool?
Schwo.
What's that?
A schwo.
A shovel?
I like my schwo.
What is a schwo? What is a schwo?
A schwo is like a hoe, but it's a weeder. Like an oscillator. Is that the right word?
One of them's oscillating, or some people call it a shuffle hoe, oscillating hoe.
Oh, okay. I know this is like a wire weeder, like it's like a little bee, right?
Well, it actually has a blade on it, right, Tracy?
Yeah, it's got a blade on it. And the reason I like it because I can just go right down through there when there's little tiny babies, little tiny baby weeds, and just knock them down and not have to bend over and pull weeds. That or my wheel hoe. Those are my most used tools probably. Whoa, and the wheel hoe. Yep. The oscillating hoe.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. That's my favorite. I just always have called it a swow, but
I like
that's
it.
my favorite.
I like Schwo.
I like Schwo.
Swow.
It sounds it
Whoa.
sounds Scandinavian, like you'd buy it at IKEA.
Yeah. I don't know. That's what we called it at Pedals, so I just call it a swow. But I guess it's an oscillating hoe. But yeah, that's my favorite because you can just, if you can catch those weeds when they're tiny babies and just go through and keep them maintained with that thing, that makes life a little bit easier. And that's something I use probably daily.
That's when your garden's so weed free, Tracy. You know what? People always complain about weeds. It's a daily battle.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's another observance thing too. Like when I was gardening a lot, like just sitting in your raised bed, picking out all the little guys. And all of a sudden, if you just do that and chip away at it a little bit every day, you're going to have a way better end result than like when they get settled and you have to rip those bad boys out, you know?
If you just say 10 minutes, I'm just going to like rapid fire take care of weeds for 10, 15 minutes a day and just do it. You might not get all of them, you know, you might not hit every bed, but just do a little tackling every day.
And find joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
it's very meditative. It's very meditative.
I like crawling around on the ground and pulling weeds. I mean, I like it because you don't have to, there's no brain work in it. You don't have to think. You don't have to know anything. You don't have to talk to anybody. You can just crawl around on the dirt and pull weeds and dream and think and design and plan. And I love pulling weeds.
I like I feel late in the evening with my headlamp on, but like the June bugs have started over here, and so I have my headlamp on in the backyard, and all of a sudden one just flies in my face like they're already starting. Like it's
Lord.
We got a little over 2 minutes left. Real quick, Phil, give us a garden tip, and then close us out with let everybody know where they can find you.
A garden tip for this time of year. Oh man. So like when you're pruning your fruit trees, try to get an open center and a canopy at the same time, right? So look at where your stems are splitting and make sure that those little buds are pointing outwards, and then cut those at a 45-degree angle. So look around your tree, and if you're thinning that out, it's going to feel a little more than you're used to, but just make sure they're pointing outwards and you'll do yourself a lot of good.
Good tip.
And then I like your rule of three too. Like I use
rule
that
of threes. Yeah, it got it from originally from a bonsai thing in the fig community a time ago. But you have 3 main off of the trunk, and then you have 3 off of those and 3 off of those. And then I observe it a lot, and I almost see like the Fibonacci sequence in that when you're pruning your trees like that golden ratio, and it just comes out really nice for a fig tree for sure.
And then go to philsfigs.com. You got figs available right now?
I don't. I'm out of cuttings. The rest of the cuttings for me, but I'll have trees in May. But if you're just still rooting cuttings, I have a growing guide on there. So go look it up and how to propagate your own figs. And I just posted some good content that kind of follow along with the seasons weekly on how your fig trees are growing if you're trying to attempt stuff. So go for it.
I got a Phil question if we got time.
Yeah,
Phil, what's your favorite fertilizer for fig trees? Because now's the time to fertilize.
Favorite fertilizer? I like well-rounded stuff, but then people always complain about getting fruit. So I throw some bone meal in there to get some phosphorus uptake for the roots and fruits. And then the other one is I add a garden lime because they like the magnesium and calcium in it.
Oh, interesting.
So because it's dolomitic limestone from the Alps and stuff. So they love more of the garden lime. So they like more neutral pH.
So garden lime, bone meal, and a balanced fertilizer?
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Tracy,
the garden line for sure.
Okay.
Tracy, what do you got coming up? We'll do an extra minute. I'm trying to keep it at an hour. But what you got coming up, Tracy?
What have I got coming up? Nothing.
You tell me.
The garden. The garden. No,
Well-
we're not doing I haven't really announced this. Yes. I haven't really announced this a whole lot, which I should have already been announcing it. But we are not doing the Great Fall Garden Festival this year. We're just taking a little break this year, so we're not doing that. As far as what I got coming up, just
You didn't have to cancel the entire event if you didn't want me to come to Alabama. You just told me not to come.
Well, now you said you were still coming.
I still may be coming. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well,
Definitely.
you let me know, and we'll have a party in the potager. We
I
had
like
one
it.
of those one time.
Party at
didn't
the
we?
protege.
Yeah.
As long as Gene will sing, I'll be okay with that. I have to admit that Gene makes up a lot of funny lyrics to songs. And I could not stop laughing at Gene. He is very entertaining. I know.
Never a dull moment when Gene's around.
Never.
I'm sure.
Never.
I'm sure I'm not helping the situation by saying this, but he is hilarious.
He
I
does
love
keep
it.
me laughing. That is for sure. He does keep me laughing.
I was trying to pack up my stuff and he kept cracking me up. I'm like, I gotta pack it up, Gene. Oh my goodness. Well, make sure you go to justdigitfarms.com and then check out the medicinal herb collection at Haas Seeds.
Yeah.
Greg, what y'all got coming up? What y'all got coming out?
Well, we got a lot of things going on. We got herb plugs we're shipping. We got tomato plugs. We got pepper plugs. We've got strawberry bear roots we're going to be shipping out next week. Asparagus crowns. We're pre-selling sweet potatoes. Oh man, what else? We got a lot going on right now.
That's awesome. It's like,
Herb
yeah.
plugs. Did you say herb plugs?
I did. We got some herbs. We got rosemary and all different kind of things.
I actually ordered some tomato plugs. I ordered jalapeno plugs. What I ordered. They sent me an email. I'm out of focus. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I'm excited for the jalapeno plugs that are coming.
And speaking of fertilizing, we got a new berry blend fertilizer for you guys that want to fertilize your berries out there.
Yes.
So we got a new berry blend fertilizer. There you go.
Oh, I didn't know you had
That's
that.
good to go. That's good to know.
So we worked with a wonderful guy to put that together and bring it out there. So we was excited about that.
Cool.
Whoever it is, he's great. He's a great guy. I don't know who did it. Hey, but you know what? It's got my strawberries already going. My strawberries are already putting out fruit and flowering. So, and if you do have a freeze in your area and you already have strawberries, you do not need to cover them up for the most part unless you have blooms or berries on there already, because then they might drop the fruit or the flowers. But the strawberries are pretty cold tolerant. So, but awesome. Well, make sure you go to growhouse.com. Is that the website? I always forget.
Growhouse.com. Yes, it is.
Growhouse.com. And like Greg says, he's got over 1,200 videos on his YouTube channel. So if you have any questions or you're interested in growing something specific, make sure to check it out. And they have an awesome variety of seeds, and they're coming out with new stuff every single. How often do y'all come out with new stuff? Like once a season?
Oh no, it's every 2 weeks almost. We're adding something all the time.
I love it.
That's epic.
And be on the lookout for that dark angel tomato. I'm going to reach out to you about that as well.
Hey,
awesome.
I just got to say real quick, Hoss is carrying flowers this year. And that, they've stepped up the game on the flower seed. And that's something else that I'm growing a whole lot more of this year is flowers. I always grow a lot of flowers, but this year I'm like really growing a lot of flowers. So they've got scabiosas and asters, and they got a cool echinacea mix, a paradiso mix, like just some really snapdragons, like all kinds of cool flowers that I'm excited about. I got every one of them growing.
We got some colors that's just off the chain.
Yeah. That one aster, that rose aster, oh my gosh, I'm in heaven over that thing. It is so pretty. The color's beautiful.
Yeah. I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to drop the link in the comment section. Make sure you go check out growhouse.com and make sure to use my code. Guys, thank y'all very much for being on. It's going to be an awesome spring. Stay warm. I know we got a little bit of cold weather coming up this weekend, but we're going to make it through. But thank y'all so much. I will see y'all next time. Thank you, Greg. Follow Grow Hoss. Follow Just to Get Farms. Follow Phil's Figs. And I will see y'all next week. Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all. Cool.
All right.
All right.
That was great.
Fun.
Oh, I'd wonder if we usually do the song again as it goes out. And I think Destin may have flipped it where he like hopped off unless it's coming back on.
Oh.
How fun is
Tracy,
that?
Hey guys, Texas Garden Guy here, and welcome back to another awesome episode of The Garden Party. This is the Garden Party, and we want a garden party.